You are listening to
The Wrestlegeddon Podcast.
Wrestlegeddon Podcast.
All right, we are live. It is Friday, 9 o'clock
Black
somewhere.
Friday.
Black Friday, Gray Friday, Red Friday, Green Friday, whatever retail is calling it now. The day after Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a great holiday, but we're here. We're ready to talk some wrestling and Survivor Series tomorrow. Thanksgiving tradition. Psyched about that. But I, of course, am Chris the Heat Matthews. He's the Tennessee Jesus, Carl Crossland. Let's get into it, Carl. How the hell are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Pretty stuffed. I don't know if it's because I didn't work, the couple days. If that had something to do with it, but I've just been like stuff. Usually I eat like a ton and I'm ready to go, but it's like all stuffed in me, so I can like barely move. I'm like Brendan Fraser in The Whale, like around the house right now.
Oh, man, Dad. After the last few years of not having to work retail and then you can actually have Thanksgiving off and the day after off, it's been nice.
Yeah.
Oh. It's good time.
Yeah, I usually my go-to, what I usually do is I eat until my farts smell like deviled eggs, and then I know like I've eaten too much. But that kind of failed me this year. It's like I'm stuffed, can barely move.
Oh, Lord. I don't know what to say about that. It's a little too much information there, but
I mean, it's a good gauge. You know what I mean? Like your fart smells like shit. It was like from the shit the day before. But then like once you start getting into that Thursday's food, you get to that deviled egg fart. Like okay, I filled my stomach with as much of today's food as possible. Like I need to slow down.
Oh, man. Awesome. All right. Let's get into it with that Carl's random biology report here. A random pan entry.
Yeah, I was trying to lose all the viewers before we got ready.
Oh, random band this week was Shawn Mendes. Keeping me in stitches.
Yep, I knew more songs than what I thought I did, thanks to Dance Dancers Revolution.
Oh, man, awesome. All right, yeah, my kids like Shawn Mendes. My wife likes Shawn Mendes, so I hear it quite a bit. So,
yeah.
I just didn't realize that a lot of these songs were his. I thought they were someone else's.
I gotcha.
Awesome. All right, so I'll let you kick it off. What would you go with?
I decided to go with like a shout out to Vine, and I don't know like if you remember like the Vine videos where they take like songs and they would play like a song and they would show like people's Facebook pages with their names in it and the like lyrics to the song.
Oh yeah,
and this is one of the popular songs, and I decided to go with my wrestling name's gonna be Danny Can, and I'm going with Better Than He Can as my entrance music as a throwback to viral videos.
Oh, that's good. I went with There's Nothing Holding Me Back.
That's a good one. I decided to go with that. I mean, I almost went with that. I didn't decide to go with it. Of course, I went with Better Than He Can. But I started to go with Senorita too, and be like a playboy.
Yeah,
I knew that song from like Dance Dance Revolution. My daughter used to wear that song out.
Nice. All right, so who do we have for next week?
Next week we have the band of Boston.
All right. Boston.
I don't know if I know Boston song, or maybe I do. Is More Than a Feeling in Boston?
Yes.
Okay, I know one song. More than a feeling.
I used to like kill that song on Guitar Hero. So many good times. So much fun
Yeah.
with Guitar Hero. All right. Let's see what the next. Okay, so I did take that out. All right. I took out I made a few lineup changes. So I took out In Your Housekeeping, because 9 times out of 10 we don't have anything to follow up with. Figure if we did, we could just throw it in with instant replay.
Yeah.
Also added, so I took that out and I added one more into the show later on called the Fatal 4-Way. Basically, we get to pick something and erase it from history. So,
Okay.
so I was like, all
Those
right.
are always fun.
I was like, cool. So I'll put that in there. I got a pretty good one for this week, so we'll get that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and hop over into the instant replay. Where is my stuff? I need to fix this. I keep saying that like every week, and it never gets fixed. There it is. All right. Instant replay this week. I had some new stuff. I forgot to put it in the notes. So I'm going to go ahead and key that in here now. Well, bring it up now. Apparently, Vince McMahon, we talked a few weeks ago about this. He is starting an entertainment company. And one of the projects that he is doing is a look back again for God knows what, like the 200th time on the Monday Night Wars. But this time it'll be from his perspective.
Okay.
So
yeah. I think he's trying to copy. There's a dude on YouTube that has a pretty successful podcast, and I'll shout him out because well, it's not a podcast; it's more of like a show. He kind of does it more of a show, but it's like a guy that kind of recaps every episode of Monday Night Raw and Nitro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it kind of sounds like that. Reliving the War by Wrestling Bios, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's pretty successful.
I'm kind of interested in seeing this if it actually does happen, because we've never really heard a lot of Vince's comments on this. Like we've got
it's this
WWE narrative, but nothing like direct from Vince.
Yeah, but are we going to get the truth, or are we going to get him making like excuses for like shit he did on Monday Night Raw? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's your thoughts on the Owen Hart episode of Raw? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like, what's going on? What's going through your head? Now, if it is honest, then yeah, maybe it might be good TV, but that's the big thing. Is like, is it going to be like an honesty thing, or is it just going to be him trying to present himself in like a better light since the scandals and stuff came out, and be like remembered more as like the wrestling genius versus the dirty CEO of a company.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Like, I'm interested to see if there's anything like that we haven't heard yet about this whole thing. Because we've heard, like, obviously Bischoff's got his podcast, the 83 Weeks podcast, and I know
I've listened to a little bit, but not a whole lot.
I know he's gone quite a bit in detail about the Monday Night Wars, at least on WCW's end, because he was at the forefront of all that in WCW. And we've gotten comments from some people in WWE that weren't involved in that, but we never, like I said, we've never really got comments from Vince on this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I'm interested to see what if there is anything new that maybe we haven't heard, or maybe they had some ideas that they had that they didn't run with or something like that. So
Yeah, I mean, they had some ideas that they put out that they didn't run with, like the Vince impregnating Stephanie and stuff. But
yeah. And we never did we ever
or was
really
it Shane? Was it Shane? I can't remember.
It was supposed to be Vince.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that whole that spy thing they were doing with like the security cameras and stuff. Like, did we ever get like a payoff to that with anybody behind it?
You know what? I can't remember.
Like, I'm not 100% sure on that one. I can't even remember what the hell. I can see it something CTV. Can't remember exactly what it was, but but nonetheless, we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. If that actually does happen, we'll see where it goes from there. Ricky Starks.
Oh no, never mind. You can go ahead.
Okay. Let's say Ricky Starks made his GCW debut last weekend after we had recorded. Apparently, that's going to be his only foray into the GCW universe.
Is he still under contract with AEW?
Still under contract with AEW. Apparently, I don't know if it has to do with this, why he's been pulled from any more like upcoming GCW shows. But Effie had made some comments on his podcast about AEW running like smaller venues like the Hammerstein Ballroom, which GCW has been running, which they got some shows coming up in there as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that had anything to do with Ricky Starks being pulled from the GCW shows, or if AEW actually intends on bringing him back to TV and using him, which I hope is the case.
Or maybe he was more popular than they thought, and they're still trying to bury him, so they're just like, let's take him off so he doesn't get any kind of build before he goes to WWE.
I mean, that could be too.
It just seems like, I mean, I know they said it was like injury or whatever, but it's just like a coincidence that like he shows up at Royal Rumble and fucking just disappears off of TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For good.
Yep. I mean, in WWE's case, I mean, they would have fired him. Oh, look what they did with the Highlanders. The one guy who showed up to a TNA taping and specifically asked not to be shown on camera, and they did anyway, and he ended up getting fired.
But there's been other people that's popped up at AEW shows that hasn't got fired.
Yeah.
So, I mean, depends on how big of a star you are.
Yep. I just hope they do something with Starks. Either get him back on TV or just let him go. One of the two. Same thing with Penta and Phoenix. Penta's contract is actually coming up within the next couple weeks. So he will be a free agent, unfortunately. Phoenix is still stuck under AEW contract since they opted to add on the time that he missed while he was injured. Which a lot of people are bitching about that, but honestly, it's the same thing WWE does. Like, it's not anything new. This shit happens all the time. So it's just WWE knows, like, all right, we're not using these guys. They haven't been on TV in a while, so why don't we just cut them? And they still have a 90-day no-compete clause, so like they can't show up on AEW TV the next day. So, and do the same thing with your talent in AEW and just cut them loose and give them that no-compete clause so they can't show up on TV. So, I mean, they can still work the indie dates. So, damn it. Apparently I got a hole in my lip.
We spill your White Claw?
My Liquid Death.
Oh, Liquid Death. That was White Claw.
We don't drink White Claws in this household, sir.
Oh, okay.
If I'm gonna drink a seltzer, it's gonna be a manly seltzer.
Okay, I get you.
It's not a
Like
white.
Mike's Hard. I don't know what Manly seltzers are.
I prefer the high noons.
Okay. If I drink one, I usually drink Cayman Jacks, but I don't generally drink a lot of different brands.
Awesome. Some other contract news. Former WWE talent, formerly known as Xia Li, now going by Lei Ying Li, has officially signed with TNA, and the Hardys have re-signed contract with TNA.
That's good.
So, kudos to them for that.
Maybe some other people signed contracts with TNA. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. What we got going on tonight? Of course, aside from SmackDown, we've got a WrestleCade weekend going on right now. Started today. With those in attendance got treated to be in attendance for TNA's Turning Point tonight, which is happening now. So we'll keep people updated on that as it goes through. Big debut for Turning Point tonight with the original Bro, Matt Riddle, showing up as the mystery partner for Wentz and Kushida, as Trey Miguel was pulled from the event. So he filled in for Trey Miguel, taking on the Hardys and Ace Austin. So that's a big thing for TNA. Nothing if it's a one-off thing or probably something for the tapings this weekend. Not 100% sure on that one, but we'll see where that goes. But props to them for getting Matt Riddle. Regardless of his past, he's still a pretty decent draw and a pretty solid name to have in there. So,
yeah.
All right, awesome stuff there. All right, let's get into it. WWE Monday Night Raw last week, or this past Monday, we got the announcement of the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
To me, it's like a little too soon.
So they just announced the U.S. title?
Yeah, it's like, because I don't think like they had planned to come out with it yet. Because why would you include like a tournament with other people from other brands for the title for SmackDown? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, looking at the tournament for SmackDown, the only one that's not everyone that's in it looks like they're on SmackDown except for Lash Legend, who was on NXT.
So they kind of changed their mind of.
I think so.
Okay.
Because
I'm assuming it was like from feedback from fans where they're like, fucking Intercontinental. Yeah. Well, which maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's an ugly ass belt design. It doesn't look any better than the men's. The men's is pretty ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody.
The only thing that's going to kind of upset me a little bit is now they're probably going to have to build storylines to this to WrestleMania, so you're going to get kind of stories kind of force fed out of nowhere, like they kind of did with the Women's War Games. So to me, it wasn't the right time. Like I would have let and seen how successful the women's title was used and went. The U.S. title went, and then maybe after the end of the year next year, announce a belt or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they should announce them both at the same time. Honestly, just have, like something like even if it was like a .com or social media exclusive thing, like. Or they kicked it off at the beginning of Raw with both, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce in the ring with Triple H, and like they announced those respective belts for each brand, and then talked about the tournaments and stuff. But yeah, the tournament breakdown for the U.S. title, it's all everyone that was initially part of this tournament was from SmackDown.
Okay.
Jade Cargill was supposed to participate, which was the triple threat match that happened tonight. But she was replaced by Lash Legend because of that, her getting taken out last week. But so far, the two that advanced has been Bayley and Chelsea Green for the first bracket. I don't remember who just won that match.
Hopefully Chelsea Green.
Back and forth. Well, Chelsea Green won her bracket. The triple threat matches. The other one's still going on with it's Michin, Piper Niven, and Lash Legend that's going on now.
Oh, well, hopefully Piper Niven wins that one.
I just want Chelsea to win the whole tournament.
Are they doing the crowning of the Intercontinental on Saturday night main event too, or no?
I think so.
Okay, so we'll have two.
You got a
title
that loves your tiara.
Okay, I'm glad we have the fans that love my story. Actually, who was that?
I think it was your mom. Linda Carlson.
My mom? Okay, that's what I thought. I saw Linda Carlson. I'm like, oh, shit's my mom. The one Laurel. No, I'm kidding. She don't watch the podcast or the regular. Like the one loyal viewer.
Oh man.
They're probably watching SmackDown.
They say. Yeah, so they'll do they should get the belt on Saturday night's main event on December 14th. So whoever the final two are.
Yeah. How long is the Saturday night main event gonna be? 3 hours or 2?
Probably 2.
Okay.
Doesn't really say anything on here. I don't think they've announced anybody yet for the Raw side for the Women's Intercontinental Championship as far as the tournament goes. They said there will be a tournament. They just have not haven't announced anything yet.
Maybe the winner of War Games will get it.
I'm trying to think of anybody on the Raw roster that I would like to see with that belt.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's a tough one.
Rhea Ripley or something.
I don't think they'll give it to her. So, unfortunately, so I think
that way they can make her the first Grand Slam champion at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Let's see.
I just make it.
Who is on the Raw brand?
Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega's on Raw. I actually wouldn't mind that one. You got Elba Fire, Asuka, Dakota Kai, Isla Dawn, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter.
Maybe Dakota Kai.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
That'd be good.
Kiana James, Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria. That's not a bad choice either. Lyra, Maxine Dupree, Natalia, Nikki Cross, Raquel, Rhea, Scarlett, Shayna, Sonya, and Zelina and Zoe Stark. Women's roster for Raw.
Alexa Bliss returns and
that would be so awesome. I would freak out if they brought Alexa Bliss back for this tournament. She said basically she's ready to go. She's just waiting for them to pitch something to her storyline wise. So this could be it. We'll see what happens with that one. What's we got here? All right. Bailey. This is the main event on Raw. We're gonna talk some New Day stuff here, but we're gonna save that for the last bit of our Raw talk here. Bailey comes out and helps Bianca win and get the advantage for War Games.
Yeah, it's okay, but I don't like it. It's just the whole women's war game seemed like it's just like rushed together, like random people. Yeah. We criticized AEW for doing it. We got criticized WWE for doing it.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's we kind of talked about it last week too. It kind of they put more focus on the men's War Games match and that storyline, which the Bloodline storyline has been the biggest storyline in WWE, and in fact, most
for like 3 years
anyway. For the last 3-4 years now, but like the whole women's War Games match has just been rushed, like as far as the teams and everything go. And my biggest thing with this too, and I was like sitting back and looking at this, you have Bailey joining the team. So is Bailey going to be able to coexist with Io Sky?
Maybe not. Maybe that's why they paired her in the game. Yeah.
So if they do this correctly, which I don't think they're gonna, they should revisit the history between some of these women on these teams. Because like Nia Jax has an issue with pretty much everybody on her team, with the exception of Tiffany.
I think Tiffany cashes in.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Rhea has had issues with everyone on her team. So
yeah.
Most recently with, like I said, with Bailey and Io, like Io jumping her and kicking her out to damage control with the rest of them. So you've got that too.
But she's focusing on Liv Morgan though, Chris. Come on.
Yeah. So, oh man, I hope they do kind of touch on some of this too, but I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I think Tiffany should cash in on Nia Jax in the War Games, cost her team the victory.
Cashes in on her before the actual War Games match starts.
No, that would be cool. Like in a cage, like have them in a cage together.
Yeah, or like they have no, because they would have to. No, it wouldn't work because if they're actually in the match, the other team's going to have the advantage over Nia and Tiffany's team.
Yeah.
But, unless she cashes in on Liv, that could be the other thing too. But
I don't know. I think they are so deeply invested in the Liv Dom. Rhea Ripley story arc.
So that's that. So Bailey is going to take the place of Jade Cargill. I had a thought with this, and eventually we're going to get Bianca and Jade at some point, right?
Yeah.
What if it turns out that Jade was laid out by Bianca?
Like later on down the line.
Yeah, like later on down the line, like it comes out because we don't know who attacked Jade. Jade doesn't know who she got jumped by. So it comes out after when they start to split up, and Bianca's like, you know what? I'm the one that laid you out and cost you your shot in that women's U.S. title match or the title tournament. She says, I put you out before War Games.
Or, hear me out, is like Royal Rumble. You have Bianca in the title hunt, in a title match. You have Jade come out, attack her, and everybody think Jade came back and turned heel, and then she reveals on the episode of Monday Night Raw afterwards that it was Bianca that hit her with a car, and Bianca has a heel turn. So it's like double turn.
I could get behind that. They're pretty cool. But I really think it's going to end up being Bianca that took out Jade.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're kind of building Bianca up again for a singles thing. So we'll see what they do with that.
Awesome stuff. And speaking of splitting tag teams, next Monday night we have the 10-year anniversary of the New Day.
The worst tag team. WWE.
Are they gonna make it to next week after what happened this past Monday on Raw? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like Kofi with some deep stab wounds there.
I know.
Man.
And it's one of those things where I think, you know, their thing is Xavier to be the heel, but I think Kofi's words were like a little deep, and like the fans that were, you know, behind Xavier Woods the whole time in the New Day, I did think he was good enough to be world champion, or upset by Kofi's words. So I said that's how I took it, because out of the three, he's probably my favorite. And so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Big E shows up and they all have Kumbas.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like Kofi's never, throughout Kofi's entire WWE run, he's never been a heel. He's always been a face. Like even I don't count like when the New Day first came in, because like they dropped that, like it didn't even last like a full year with them as heels. Not even, because they I don't know. People
they're too likable.
Yeah, it was
they sell a lot of merch.
Disappointment of the New Day coming in like that, and not what everyone is expecting, like the like a new Nation of Domination type thing.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is they sold a lot of merch as faces, and at the time, WWE is kind of struggling moving merch. So now that they have like some big players that kind of move merch, then you can afford to take a heel route or break them up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you still see people with like Booty-O shirts and stuff like that all over the place.
Yep. I mean, I have the Booty-O's WrestleMania box set from the Mattel figures. They came out of the giant cereal box.
Gets us to our next segment. We're still on the Raw.
Yeah, so that was Monday Night Raw. I didn't get a chance to watch NXT this week. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but all I know is we're building a Survivor Series, which is tomorrow night. So let's go ahead and talk some Survivor Series, and we'll jump over to AEW. I just lost my damn thing here. I had the whole.
Tell me what things, man.
I know.
You got like 5 jobs. Don't fill it one.
I had like the page open for the freaking match, the card list for Survivor Series, and I lost it. No.
Well, we got Damian Priest and Gunther.
Priest and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've got a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. The Braun Breaker defending against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. United States Championship match, LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. We got the Women's War Games match with Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae, taking on the team Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley. And the War Games match, the OG Bloodline with CM Punk versus the new Bloodline with Bronson Reed. Oh, man. And we kind of talked a little bit earlier. It seems like the majority of the focus storyline-wise has been on the Bloodline feud, which, I mean, you can't really detract from that because it's been like one of the hottest things going, and they just kind of still find a way to keep it relevant. am looking forward to this pay-per-view in general because it looks good and I like Survivor Series. I'm just kind of sad that we're not getting a traditional Survivor Series match yet again, even if it was on the pre-show.
Yeah. Maybe somebody will come out as the gobbledygook and get beat up.
Oh, why not? All right, let's kick it off here. I believe this match was just announced tonight. LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke's back. A little more dark, a little more sinister, I guess. Kind of looking like a Sith Lord with the all black and a little bit of face paint going on there too. Are they going to break our hearts again and have Shinsuke lose another high-profile matchup? Or
they're going to break our hearts again. Just because the storyline wasn't too long, you know what I mean? So I don't think.
Yeah. I think we'll
they gotta have some titles change hands, or I'm gonna fucking riot.
I definitely think so, and I think it's gonna happen. I don't even know because I don't think Shinsuke is winning this match. And the only other two matches we have are the Intercontinental Championship and the World Championship match, which I don't see Priest winning that match. And the triple threat, man.
Are we not getting Kevin Owens and Cody?
As far as so far, I don't see it on here.
Okay, maybe not. It seemed like they was kind of building towards it, but
yeah,
maybe not.
I think with the two War Games matches,
yeah,
because you can do like a quick, like the U.S. Championship match can be like 10 minutes. So, because the triple threat match will probably go 30 minutes or maybe 20, 25 minutes, somewhere around there. So, yeah, you're going to get at least an hour to an hour and a half for each of the War Games matches.
Yeah, maybe they'll save it for Saturday Night Main Event. So
yeah,
it's like right around the corner.
I would, because you're going to want something to get people to tune into that. So why not Kevin Owens and Cody?
You don't think they're going to tune in for the Women's Intercontinental Championship?
I think hardcore fans will, but if you're trying to get like the casual,
I'm just joking. No, the answer is no, Chris.
Yeah, no. Casual fans, no. Hardcore fans, yes. Especially if it ends up being like Chelsea Green and whoever in that finals, which Michin won that triple threat match tonight. So
okay,
which is good. That's another person that's normally not around like any type of title hunt into this tournament moving into the next round. So
yeah,
I'm psyched for that. Then we got the men's War Games advantage match going on now. I'm just starting. Jacob Fatu taking on Jimmy Uso. Or Jay Uso, sorry. Jay Uso. My bad.
They look alike.
Yes. All right. So we got triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship, which is Braun Breaker defending against Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. I kind of feel like it's I just don't feel like I can pick against Breaker in this one.
I do. I think you take the title off of Breaker. Like I said, because you kind of need titles to move hands, because it's been a while since any of the titles move hands, and
well, I mean,
I think people are sick of people having titles for years and not losing them. So I think you got to kind of shake stuff up.
Won that title like 3 weeks ago back from Jay.
Yeah, but I think it's he will, to me, would benefit more from like a high profile, like, oh, maybe he's the third guy left in the Royal Rumble, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, they're gonna give it to him, you know what I mean? Like, I think you get the head out of him. if you go ahead and take the title off of him, and then you could kind of build towards Gunther and Ludwig. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If that's where you're going.
I can see that too. My other thought with this, like my gut pick is Braun. But thinking about it, because they've been building up Sheamus quite a bit with this, because he's never held the U.S. title, which I don't think is right.
He's not American.
Sheamus,
he's not American, man. You can't hold the U.S. title.
Sheamus has held the U.S. title.
I don't think so.
You
probably saw his stomach like blue and red and thought
because that
it was the American belt.
He won the U.S. title, and then he had ring gear made red, white, and blue while he was U.S. champion.
Are you sure?
Almost positive.
Yeah, thinking about Claudio when he was with what's his face?
United States champion, and a 5. You know what? I was looking at the wrong damn title. Intercontinental title. Matches for the Intercontinental title. My bad. He hasn't been an Intercontinental champion.
Damn it! Now my whole thing is fucked up because he ain't American and he's been U.S. champion, but
yeah, he has not won the Intercontinental Championship. That's the one singles title, I guess, that he hasn't won on the main roster.
Or the European title.
There's no European title. Let's say bring it back.
But if there was one, he'd be your guy.
He'd be the first.
Him and Shane O'Mac, 2 greatest European champions in WWE history.
Yeah, that's like I said, my gut pick is Braun, but like my brain pick is Sheamus because they've been building up as like Sheamus hasn't won the Intercontinental title, all this other stuff, but I'm still going with Braun.
Okay, you got with Braun, be wrong.
You got. Who are you going with?
Ludwig.
You're going with Ludwig?
Yeah, I just told you.
Oh yeah, I could see that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sticking with Braun. I'm not flip flopping. I'm sticking with Braun.
All right, so you stay with Braun.
I'm gonna. All right. World Heavyweight Championship match: Gunther defending against Damian Priest. Gunther is keeping this one. And I got a feeling that we might see Finn get involved in this again.
I don't think Finn gets involved. I think Gunther regains his confidence and beats Damian Priest.
Okay. That is not the right tab.
Chokes him out.
Whew. I'm choking out Priest. I think it's probably going to be in one of the better matches of the night.
I think it'll open. It'd be a good match, but I think it'll probably open.
All right.
Just kind of open it and then have the U.S. title belt and then do like the Women's War Games, then do the Triple Threat, and then do the Men's War Games.
Yeah, they definitely have to open one of these other matches because I just don't see you're gonna. It wouldn't make sense to open with Women's War Games and then run the U.S. title, Intercontinental title, Heavyweight Championship match, and then Men's War Games.
Yeah,
it makes sense to open with like the U.S. title match or the World title match, and then do Women's War Games, and then do the other two, and then do the Men's War Games match. So, I don't know. Something in there, or do 2 of them, then do women's, like you said. Oh, speaking of that, Women's War Games match, we've got Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae versus Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley. Ooh, I guess
I'm predicting a cash in on Tiffany Stratton on this match. So go ahead and put me down for double bonus points. And with that happening, the face team wins.
All right. I'll put that in here. If that happens. I'm also going with the face team, aka Team Rhea. All right, men's War Games match. New Bloodline and Bronson Reed versus OG Bloodline and CM Punk.
I hope Bronson Reed shows up to the arena with the shits, and they have to pick somebody else to go in the match. Is what I want to happen.
I'm honestly,
I'm gonna go with another swerve here, and I'm gonna say New Bloodline wins, and it's gonna be Sammy Uso turning on the Usos, particularly Jey Uso.
Okay. It's a tough one here. Because like we've been building up. I still think we need a singles match with Solo and Roman. Like I'm gonna go with New Bloodline on this one. It just doesn't seem like
maybe
time for this.
Maybe the Rock shows up.
Maybe.
That's Maui.
Oh man, yeah. Who knows? You can just all of a
Hello,
sudden
Maui.
someone yell, "Chee-hoo!"
Solo comes out with like his new mascot, the little chicken.
Oh man. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think we're done. Yeah,
I think you're gonna kind of tease the Roman CM Punk. Like you have to tease that too a little bit. Like I'm not saying they're gonna turn to each other, but they're gonna have a stare down.
Well, they had a sit down tonight, and Roman was pissed because Punk made him wait.
Yeah. Go to personality.
It's on like your turkey hat.
All right. The turkey hat is getting a lot of love today.
It is. All right, awesome. All right, let's get into AEW. We had Full Gear this past weekend, last Saturday night, which, Carl, I stomped you on predictions on this one, man.
I know. Go figure.
Only missed one, which is the International Championship.
Because Tony Khan don't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
If I was there, I'd make a lot better show.
The saddest part of this whole pay-per-view, when you see the clips from Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall, that little Rizzler kid got a bigger pop than anybody on the AEW roster.
I don't know. I watched the pre-show, and I don't know. I think they thought it was probably like a Make-A-Wish kid or something because he had a spear. It was stupid. Like I thought it was gonna be. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Why am I watching this?
What did I miss here? I started the pay-per-view. I missed the MJF and Roderick Strong match and the Fatal 4-Way for the tag titles. So I came in at the beginning of
the Fatal 4-Way.
Statlander.
The Fatal 4 for the tag titles was fucking terrible. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody was in the audience or something, but I could have swore like the audience was like booing during the Fatal 4-Way to tag team. A lot of stupid lot of stupid bits and stuff. It wasn't good, and it's probably a match you could have cut and made the pay per view shorter. So you're not up at 12 o'clock watching the main event.
Which it's sad too, because the teams that are in this match are pretty decent tag teams.
Yeah,
and it's kind of disappointing because on paper this match looked great.
yeah, it wasn't.
So it's just terrible. Yeah, but the Private Party ended up retaining over the Outrunners, the Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. MJF defeated Roderick Strong by submission. I did miss this match. What did you think of that one?
It was pretty good. It's what you thought it would be. And, you know, you had MJF playing the actual heel, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
one of the few people to do that during the pay-per-view.
Awesome. So like I said, I started watching Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. Mercedes actually looked really good in this match.
Yeah,
so,
it was really good. You could argue it was maybe a little long.
Yeah.
But it was good though. Like I enjoyed it. Like I didn't want to turn it off like the Jack Perry match, but it was. I mean, the Jack Perry match was good, but it wasn't. Like I'm like, I gotta stay up late to watch the main event, which wasn't that bad because it's Saturday and not a Sunday, but still.
Yep. And that's the thing, like AEW, if you're gonna have like 6-hour pay-per-views, man, they need to be on a Saturday, like consistently. So, but yeah. Like I said, I thought it was good. I was very surprised at the I guess the turnout for Mercedes Moné. She looked better in this match than she has in previous matches in AEW. So maybe this is a turnaround for her. I don't know. Well, hopefully they do something with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she retained against Statlander. Jay White still remains undefeated against Hangman Page.
Yep.
This was a great match too.
Yeah, that was really good.
So. The one thing that we did talk about in our group chat during this pay-per-view was everyone going for the leg because it happened during the Mercedes match and then it happened in this match. The one thing I can say, at least with this one, it made sense because Hangman's kind of been favoring that leg since his match with Swerve, or since that last match, I guess, with Swerve or whatever. So, because he'd been limping quite a bit. So it did make sense for Jay White to go after the leg on that one. But I'm just glad they gave the win to Jay White on this. So, and that puts him, that's got to put him in some kind of contendership for the world title, or at least somewhere near it.
I mean, I thought with like the end of the pay-per-view, maybe. Would be in
Which
that.
they did. Hangman did come out on Dynamite this week and demand that, he said, Christian screwed up. Like they should have, like he should got the title. He should be at home, with his family right now as an AEW World Champion. And he's demanding him a shot at the AEW World Championship. Jay White comes out and they start talking, and Jay White's telling him like, "I beat you at the pay-per-view." He's like, you don't demand anything, pal. You need to get in the back of the line.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to it.
But Kyle Fletcher defeated Will Ospreay. This was probably by far the match of the night. That tombstone onto the ring steps looks sick. Oh yeah. Oh, it's pretty good. A lot of good spots in this matchup. I'm not generally a fan of like the overused dives and everything, but these two, they pulled it off very well. They made it look cohesive and fluid during the whole match. So they did a fantastic job with this.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things where, like, if anybody wonder what like a match of like Will Ospreay versus Will Ospreay would be like.
Yeah, pretty much.
This would be it.
All right. New Bloodline has the advantage going into War Games. Jacob Fatu did beat Jay Uso.
No, it'd be cool if fucking Rock came out and beat up Bronson Reed and joined the War Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least there'd be some history there with Punk and The Rock, though.
Yeah.
We will see on that one. Daniel Garcia is our new TNT champion. I think I kind of dozed off a little bit during this matchup because I don't remember the majority of it. And then when I woke up, I saw Jack Perry tapping out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it was like a horrible match or nothing like that. They both kind of went decent. It's just one of those things where at this point I'm kind of aggravated about seeing Jack Perry, and then like I was upset about the matches going so long, and this was another one of those matches where the longer it went, the more I kind of grew impatient with it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the big things with AEW is they cut time for some matches, and some matches that they should cut time for, they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just one of the things where I think Tony Khan is kind of obsessed with the Dave Meltzer stars, and because people can have a fucking 30-minute match, and Dave Meltzer ranks it as a fucking 4 or 5-star match. They're like, look at that pay-per-view, it's 4-star match. You know what I mean? And which is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there is an audience for that. But to me, you get a bigger audience once you start diving into like actual storylines and stuff. It's like a beat it drum a dead drum we keep beating. Or a dead horse. I don't know. I fucked that up. We need to bring back the inner housekeeping. I think beating a dead horse is what I want to go. I said beating a drum.
Which this one Meltzer they've released the star ratings from Meltzer for these, and Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia was 3 3/4. The highest rated match on here was
Will Ospreay. I'm assuming
no. Yeah, Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher was 5 1/4. I thought this was a 5-star system. Like, how do you do 5 1/4? Jesus.
Because he's trying to break the record for most 5-star matches.
Yeah. So that one was 5 1/4, and then like the next, like Moxley and Cassidy was 4-star. Kenosuke and Ricochet was 4 1/4. Mercedes and Statlander was 4 1/2. So White and Hangman was 4 1/4. So I don't know. But he's been pretty critical of TNA of AEW recently too, with their lack of storylines and lack of ability to fill an arena. But Kenosuke, Takeshita, and Ricochet. Takeshita pick up the win on that one. Really thought they were going to give that title to Ricochet, but
I thought that too.
So back
to me, they kind of dropped the match down a little bit for me, and I would have gave it like a 3-star because it was a good match, but some of the same spots that we always see.
Yeah. One of the more anticipated matches on the card, Bobby Lashley defeating Swerve Strickland via submission.
This should have been the main event. Besides like something that happened in the finish of the main event, this is probably like the biggest pop of the night for any match. And it was the one that the crowd seemed most engaged in.
Yep. Like Swerve is one of the most over guys on this roster. And that's like, I don't know. Like, I think probably the next person closest to him as far as crowd reaction is Darby Allin. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
because they seem to be the two that get the biggest pops every time they're on screen.
Yeah.
And I'd probably MJF would probably be a third in those top three.
Yeah. MJF, I think it's kind of fell off a little bit since coming back from injury as far as like crowd participation. I think his biggest problem was at the end of his title run, he was starting to be face, you know what I mean? And he should have, stuck with what got him over. At least this point in his career.
Hopefully they can build him back up to being a more credible heel on TV.
Yeah.
All right. Main event time. Jon Moxley defeating Orange Cassidy, which we really knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Really no way.
I mean, we talked about it.
World heavyweight champion.
We talked about it before. Of like it not being that good of a card, like a match, right, on the card.
Yeah.
There was probably 3 to 4 matches you'd rather see than this one. And it's your main event. So you got to do something to make it eventful. And they definitely did that.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest pop.
The right decision.
Yeah. To me, the biggest pop of the night was when fucking Christian Cage showed up.
Absolutely.
And everybody fucking went nuts, which was crazy because it was your heel, like one of your heel guys.
Yep.
You have him show up in this match where he attacks your fucking heel of the match, and the fucking crowd goes, nuts. So I don't know, like, if they pushed Christian into like a face role, maybe it was worth doing it. We know it's talking about people to take something off of Moxley. Maybe Christian,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that pop was like, oh shit, Christian's signing that contract tonight. He's getting the title. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if Christian is heel or face. The fans love Christian. I love Christian.
Yeah.
Christian Cage is awesome, and he's still by far, like, outside of, like, I'd probably say him and MJF are like the 2 biggest heels in AEW. So there's not really anybody else that touches the 2 of them. And the shitty thing is, we don't see Christian. We don't see him that much on TV, at least not on Dynamite.
Yeah.
But when we do, like, he brings it.
Yeah. The other thing they did, which I didn't like, is the use of the chemical. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that, like, in a wrestling match. Like, I mean, I know it's fake, and they probably had fucking green Kool-Aid or something like that. But like the mist, some of the like mustard gas on a rag or something. Every once in a while, it's fine, but like pouring chemical in someone's mouth and face could do like real harm to somebody, and you wouldn't want like a kid probably could survive a tear shot from their cousin, but not fucking like bleach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's like the big thing with this is like Moxley and this whole Death Riders thing. It's like they're literally out to kill people on this roster. Like, how many times they suffocate Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson?
And
then
you know me, I like the.
So.
And you know me, I like the hardcore stuff, and I never complain about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except for when they use like fake bricks and stuff like that. But I'm more like into the hardcore stuff. But to me, like the chemical stuff, like I don't know. And then, like you said, it's like you're trying to kill the guy. And it's like, but you're only trying to kill certain guys on the roster, not everybody. And you have better opponents that you could try to kill besides Orange Cassidy. That would be more suited to verse you in a match, but maybe they don't want to wrestle you because they don't want to get, squashed and have their momentum killed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then what else happened? What Jay White came out?
That was after because Hangman had come out. Did Hangman come out first or did Christian come out first? I think Hangman came out first. I'm trying to remember because
Yeah, I would have to actually see the video.
yeah,
Because I did have to watch the video. I watched that video.
Attacked Hangman.
Yeah. I watched the ending, like one part of the ending again on video because I guess like I missed some stuff. But it started after the whole like them trying to escape to the back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I
think here.
Which I gotta say, I think I'm a dumbass, but I think it was the commentary that kind of messed me up because when they get to the back and they have their truck or whatever the fuck it was, and you have the POS that just slams into it. They couldn't afford but to get one nice car, and they grab the keys from the valet. Like I didn't catch that part. Like they kicked the valet guy, and they grabbed the keys. And me being a dumbass, like I see the car start up before they get in, or before they all get in all the way, and kind of the angle that they had, like it didn't show you the driver's door like opening and them like one of them jumping in the driver's door. Okay, so you kind of see like miss what's going on the other side of the car. And the commentary, can't remember. I think it might have been Jim Ross or whatever. He was like, "Who's driving the vehicle?" So my dumb ass, like because the vehicle started before they got in my head, I'm like, "Oh, somebody's driving the vehicle." Like we got another who's the guy driving the vehicle thing, but apparently they stole the car.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, that don't make sense. Like, who would be driving the vehicle? Like, is it fucking Sting or something? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think like, who was driving the vehicle is like who was driving the car that crashed into their truck. So before like,
okay.
Because he came out because during that, like they're coming out running toward the truck, and you saw the car slam into the truck. And that's when they like grabbed they ran back and grabbed the keys from the valet and took the SUV. Yeah. And while that's going on, Jim Ross is like, "Who's driving the car? Like, who's driving the car?" And then
they fucked me up with the self-start button.
And then they squeal off in that SUV, and you see like Darby like crawling out of the wreckage. So and I think that's what Jim Ross was referring to was that.
Yeah, because like I was like, that's why I was like, like who's fucking driving the car? I thought they were trying to add another element or somebody to the group or something. I thought it was gonna be Jack Perry or something. But the Darby Allin getting out and then taking the skateboard after he totaled his truck in the car, like, and then started busting out the windows. Like, it's like a little overkill there, but.
I think it was just more like his frustration of not being able to get his hands on him or not being able to get him inside the car. But it was Hangman that came out first. He stopped them. Pretty much him coming out was what stopped them from poisoning Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Then Christian Cage came out, and then Jay White came out to break up the cash in type thing. So
yeah.
Well, I think if they, me personally, I think if they just left it with Darby, with them like getting out of the arena and Darby trying to try to kill him, pretty much.
You could have had like the you could have had like the locker room come out and try to stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of having the fake cash in, because
what about the conglomeration? Like the conglomeration could have came out, which we saw some of them come out, and Willow Nightingale got a huge ass pop, taking down Marina Shafir.
Yeah,
so, like that was awesome seeing that.
Yeah, I just know for me it was like a little bit too much overkill, and to me, like you missed the spot with Christian because like that was the biggest reaction you got all night. And to me, like if you're gonna put that in there, like you should have had him cash in and actually take the belt. You know what I mean? And then you could have Moxley win it back or something, but like at least it's a better storyline and a better opponent for Moxley than just like the B card. You know what I mean?
Yep. I just don't know why like they're this group of people that are supposed to be like these badasses that are taking everybody out. Like, why are you running from like trying to get out the arena like as you're being chased by like Hangman Page and Jay White type thing? Like they're in the ring. So
yeah,
I just don't know. I just think it should have been like the conglomeration being able to, get a second wind after shenanigans early on in the match and coming to the aid of Cassidy instead of Hangman, and then the stuff with Christian and then Jay White and the Death Riders, being run off by the conglomeration.
It just kind of put me in the mind of like WCW, like in like 99, 2000s area.
Yeah.
Where you just like tuned in and you didn't know what the hell was about to go on, and there was like some kind of crazy ass swerve. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Which WWE had some of those nights too, so I can't say anything. But
yeah. But we close out that pay-per-view and we hop over to Dynamite this week. We kick off the Continental Classic Tournament, which saw Ricochet and Claudio Castagnoli, which Castagnoli picked up the win over Ricochet. Shelton Benjamin defeated Mark Briscoe. And Brody King defeated Darby Allin. This Darby and Brody was the main event. Claudio had come back out with a chair after Darby had been pinned and Brody was leaving the ring. Brody's halfway up the ramp, and then he happened to turn around and see Claudio about to get in the ring with a chair. So Brody ran back to the ring, kind of stopped the beat down from Claudio on Darby Allin. And then there's Brody had made some comments later with the last couple of days about how he felt bad, beating the shit out of Darby, especially since he tried to kill himself Saturday night with a car crash and then coming into that match on Wednesday. But he says he's got nothing but respect for Darby Allin. And that's why he stepped up to keep him from that further beat down. So, yeah. But that was pretty cool. Shelton Benjamin and Mark Briscoe was a really good match. That opened up the show. Some of these are airing on Saturday, so I'm not sure. I actually know which ones are. All right, and then next week we will get Claudio versus Brody King.
That should be good.
So this is pretty cool. They got I can't remember who the hell was all in these brackets. I don't think they have. Okay, here we go. The Blue League is Shelton Benjamin, Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, Okada, Mark Briscoe, and the Beast Mortos. Gold League is Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Juice Robinson, and Ricochet. So far leading is Shelton Benjamin, Claudio Castagnoli, and Brody King, all with 3 points.
All right.
So there we go.
But we need another tournament.
Yep. What else we got here? Camille quit as Mercedes Moné's muscle. She basically told her to go fuck herself, and she walked away.
That's the next mixed match we're getting.
I think so.
Mercedes Moné.
I mean, if it follows the same, the predecessing story, Shawn Michaels and Diesel thing, Bodyguard and Champion, then I think Camille might end up being the next TBS champion.
That would be good. Kind of get Mercedes in the women's title picture. Do something
Yeah.
more important with her, and she doesn't look bad losing to Camille because Camille's good.
That definitely need to do something with that. But that's pretty much all I got from Dynamite this week. I'm sure we'll get some more stuff coming out from next week. I did not get a chance to catch. There actually TNA was not on this week because of Thanksgiving. They were running some movies and stuff on there, and that was pretty much it. Like I said, Turning Point is happening tonight, live from WrestleCade in Winston-Salem. Basically, we had the pre-show, which was Rosemary defeating Nia Brookside and Savannah Evans. Mike Santana defeated Frankie Kazarian. That was on the actual pay-per-view itself. The Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl, Joe Hendry defeated Eric Young, Alexander Hammerstone, Rhino, Brian Myers, and John Schuyler. If you remember the Turkey Bowls in the past, whoever was the one that gets the pin, that gets pinned, is the one that has to wear the turkey suit. Unfortunately, Brian Myers got pinned and had to wear the turkey suit.
All right.
Moose, who currently is the X Division champion, I did not realize he beat Speedball Mike Bailey, defeated the Laredo Kid to retain the title.
That's good.
Fantastic. Steve Macklin defeated Josh Alexander in a no DQ match. Matt
But that
Jeff,
was pretty good.
I'm sure. Matt and Jeff and Ace Austin defeated Wentz, Kushida, and Matt Riddle. Masha Slamovich defeated Jordan Grace in a 2-out-of-3 falls match to retain the Knockouts Championship. And Nick Nemeth defeated Eddie Edwards to retain the TNA World Championship. So we had Brian Myers came out in the turkey suit, attempted to punch Nemeth with a ring. JBL appeared and hit the clothesline from hell on Myers. JBL left. Nemeth hit Edwards with a super kick in the danger zone to pick up the win. I want to know what's going on with this JBL thing, because he's just like showing up everywhere and clotheslining people for the hell of it.
I mean, he still gets a little bit of a pop, and he makes money off of it. So,
I get that. Like, is there a story behind this? Because it seems like the majority of the guys that he's doing this are like our former WWE guys.
Maybe it's just an easy $100.
Yeah. It's like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
And then he gets to show up to the event and sign autographs and sell pictures. And you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to have him there at the event to sign autographs and pictures, you might as well have him do something. So the clothesline from hell. Like, I don't see him returning to like in-ring action in like anything serious. Or I know we might get JBL's last match or something.
He is pretty solid on the mic too. I mean, he could be a good mouthpiece for his stable. So
yeah, he could.
Awesome stuff. All right, that's pretty much gonna do it for the instant replay. We're gonna go ahead and head over to the Elite entertainmentearth.com. Use the code FTCollect and save yourself 10% off your purchase of in-stock items. All right, this week's Elite Figure of the Week, of course, is the Legend Series 24 Kurt Angle with his awesome gold medals and his intensity, or it's true t-shirt. Right.
It's true. I don't know if you heard this or not, but Kurt Angle actually won an Olympic gold medal with a broke freaking neck.
Two gold medals with a broken freaking neck. I'll like this figure. This is a nice, solid figure. Great head scan there. Pretty good. This young Kurt Angle. I got this shit like rubber banded on here.
Back when he had hair.
Back when he had hair. I think his next figure coming out is one that has it's got a couple different heads. It's got one with hair, one with the wig and the earmuffs for the headgear, and I think one that's bald.
I was just saying one that like don't move its neck. It's like this.
Shirt's cool. All cloth. Ring gear is pretty cool. I like the ring gear.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue with the gold stars. It's great. Got his tattoo on his shoulder. This is a cool figure. I think this is the only one, really the only one from that set that I wanted. So, it's pretty awesome.
Maybe you like a Stephanie McMahon and for Triple H.
He doesn't. He needs a tiny cowboy hat and a guitar. That's pretty cool. All right, and he does come with a extra set of hands too. So awesome stuff. All right, so that is your elite figure of the week, the Legend Series 24, Kurt Angle. Now we're gonna hop into a new segment called the Fatal 4-Way, which I do not have any music for this. So.
No, okay. I was say if I you would say nothing but graphic, I would say, man, you better come with a graphic.
I got a graphic. So, the Fatal 4-Way. So basically, what we're gonna do with this each week, I'm gonna pick out 4 things in wrestling history, either 4 wrestlers, 4 tag teams, 4 stables, 4 managers, 4 commentators, whatever, 4 companies. And we're going to make the decision on which ones we will completely erase from wrestling history.
Me and Chris is probably going to disagree on most of it. So if you want to hear us yell at each other like, fuck you, then this will probably be the segment you want to tune into.
Absolutely. So this week I went with 4 tag teams. And they're 4 arguably the greatest tag teams of all time. And that is the Steiner Brothers, the Road Warriors, also known as Legion of Doom, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardys.
So, my first question, so I can fuck this all up, is we're not counting any versions of the old groups, and we're not counting like singles stuff at all, right?
Yeah, singles is not counted. It's just they're
and no other versions. Like I can't do like LOD with draws or nothing, right? Or Dudley Boys with Big Dick Dudley. Okay.
Nope.
These guys.
Yep.
I think this might have been a little easier for me than what I thought it would be, but I think I got my pick.
Yeah, I got mine. So
you got yours?
Yeah.
Go with yours first, and then we'll see.
I went the Steiners.
Yeah, you're full of shit, Chris.
Why am I full of shit?
Well, we'll talk about it. So why the Steiners?
To me personally, and this is all opinion based, so it's not anything with facts. These are, like I said, arguably 4 of the greatest tag teams ever. I did not connect with the Steiners.
Okay.
Not until like singles runs. Like, I love Scott Steiner. Like, I love Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, the Big Bad Booty Daddy. Like, that version of Scott Steiner I like. Like, the Michigan jackets and, they're like the white meat babyface guys. Like, I did not connect with this team. And it's one of those things, like, I really didn't see them that much either growing up watching wrestling. Like, I saw them a little bit in WWF. Like, I didn't know WCW existed for quite a while of my youth. So there really wasn't that much of a connection with me and the Steiner brothers compared to the Dudleys, the Hardys, or, Hawk and Animal.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, this was kind of easy. And I mean, Legion of Doom, like I don't think you could ever delete them. You'd have to have like some pretty crazy like list to get me to eliminate them. The Hardy Boys. I mean, you say like can't talk about single stuff. So, but them as a group kind of change the tag team division and how like tag teams are being pushed, and kind of how matches were laid out. Some of those matches were against the Dudleys, but to me, the Dudleys, their ECW stuff was really good. Them being heels. To me, the WWF version, I think it's because I do the ECW version, and I think like it's the WWF version. This to me, like, this can't seem like standard. Like, oh, they're gonna get a table. It's a hardcore match. There's not a whole ton of storytelling in their tag team matches as you got with some of the other like Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys teams at that time. And then when they went off to New Japan like later on in their careers after they tried like single runs and stuff like that, and TNA, and they were kind of like champions of the world or whatever. To me, it was this kind of like there's a lot of too many squash matches, and like it was too much of like they were only there because what they once was and not who they were at that moment. And I can't ever really say that about any of the Steiner matches, the Legion of Doom or the Hardy Boys. It seemed like when they were there, they were like main event status. They were in the they weren't phoning stuff in, and like you truly didn't know. I mean, of course, you knew you was gonna get like a Twist of Fate or a Swanton Bomb or something like that, but the Steiner Recliner stuff like that. But you couldn't predict their matches. And they had some pretty good bouts with teams like the Samoans and other Demolition. Of course, I'm like playing on all the fucking great tag teams like from the 80s and 90s. But a lot of those guys had matches with them, and to me, it was just like the Dudley Boys were kind of like one note. And don't get me wrong, like they got popped like when they did the Get the Table and What's Up and all that stuff, but it wasn't in depth as it was in ECW. And I think and I know they were on like network television, but it was still the Attitude Era, and you still could have had some of that ECW stuff into it. I just, to me, it just kind of seemed like it was a repeat of all their matches. Like if you watch any of their matches that wasn't like involving the Hardy Boys or the Edge and Christian.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you on the Dudleys on that point. Like they weren't really. By the time they got brought into WWE, it's like they were like a watered down version of what they were in ECW. But if you look at ECW, they had more freedom to do what they wanted. They weren't answering to like Heyman's just telling them to go do what you want to do type of thing. Where it's you have someone that's got to control everything, and you got sponsors and all this other stuff that you're dealing with.
Yeah. Like to me, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but to me, they're kind of like a better version of like Public Enemy or like the Nasty Boys. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
No fighting, no arguing.
Yeah. Maybe you need to watch like some like Steiner matches or something. Maybe you can convince me I'm wrong. But
I mean, going back, like I've watched like their stuff like on the network or Peacock or whatever now. Like it's just like being a younger wrestling fan, like it's not like a team that I really connected with. And like even now, like I said, I loved like I'm not really, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of Rick Steiner. as I am Scott Steiner. Like I just think Scott Steiner was more entertaining.
Yeah.
As far as like their singles runs go, but
I mean, he
like,
was. But you could say the same thing about Bubba, Jeff Hardy, and Animal. You know.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. Like when I think of the Dudleys, like, you know, I can remember matches that I saw like in the moment, and the same thing with the Hardys and with, you know, Hawk and Animal. Whereas like the Steiners, like I really like when I think about the Steiners, I think more of like their singles runs than I do like their tag team work.
Yeah.
Like they had a lot of great matches, with Harlem Heat. Like I do remember those because that's when I discovered when I finally, you know, started watching WCW. But like anything before that, like I don't remember. Like I can barely remember them in WWF. So
yeah.
Like I know they were there. Like I know they wrestled like Demolition and, you know, a couple other tag teams floating around in there, but I just don't really remember.
Yeah. I mean, they were, you know, pretty clean baby faces, and that might be one of the things, because like we kind of like the main portion of the wrestling that we watched was kind of the Attitude Era, and the Steiner's Golden Age was kind of more of the pretty boy face type teams where one of them gets beat up, makes a hot tag, but and then, you know, Demolition, they kind of their heyday was that era too, but they were more like portrayed as like badasses, and then wasn't always like the face. They were just, you know, badasses that people just happen to like because they were badasses.
Absolutely. All right, awesome. So that was a fun segment. We see what I can come up with for next week. Notes. There's my notes. All right. Well, let's get into No Holds Barred. I forgot to put it up there already. /people/WrestleGeddon pod. Buy yourself some merch. I believe there is a sale as well. 35% off t-shirts for today. I'm not sure what is going on tomorrow. Oh, I got some other stuff on here. This is like up to 60% off everything. So, okay. Oh, they got a couple different things going on. So, flash sales. So looks like I got anything from like 25% off up to 60% off. So go check that out. Buy some stuff. No Holds Barred.
What?
I don't
Did you watch any football over the Thanksgiving?
Really? No, I did not.
I mean, some of the games were close, but they wasn't really like super good. I can't say I'm kind of glad Kendrick Lamar got the halftime show because they had like a bunch of country artists for the halftime shows during Thanksgiving, and they were like fucking terrible. So I'm like, yeah, thank you for going with Kendrick Lamar. I don't have to worry about seeing fucking Jelly Roll or somebody on fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah. So we pretty much just hung out, ate some food. I watched made the kids watch the Garfield and Friends Thanksgiving special. And then we watched the Black Friday movie with Bruce Campbell and a couple other people. Devin Sawa. It's pretty good.
Yeah. We watched Harry Potter. Today we watched Harry Potter. I did watch the that Snoop Dogg concert that came on Prime after the game tonight. That was really good. Yeah. Love some Snoop Dogg. Trying to think anything else I haven't talked about.
Yeah, my kids are just well, my boys are just counting down to the next Fortnite chapter on Sunday. So,
Yeah.
Super excited.
Yeah, my daughter was like extremely excited for Thanksgiving this year. It was kind of weird, being the holiday that you don't get toys and stuff. Kind of,
Yeah.
you don't expect a small child to be excited about it.
I'm not a Thanksgiving person. Like not a big fan.
You don't like cranberry sauce or something?
No, it's just like all the like the cooking and stuff. Like I have to listen to people complain like, "Oh, I've been up all night making this and ain't getting sleep doing this and blah blah blah." And it's like, then don't do it. Like, Jesus, let's get some fucking Chinese food or something. Like, damn.
Yeah. Well, my wife did most of the cooking. Kids helped a little bit with some cookies and stuff, but yeah, we didn't get too many complaints. I mean, she was a little tired, getting up early to put the turkey in because we ate early. We ate around like 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's about what we ate too.
Which is, I don't know, probably a bad thing because I probably ate like 6 plates of food. 2 slices of pumpkin pie, a slice of caramel apple pie, slice of cake, probably like 12 deviled eggs. So I was stuffed, could barely move around. Uncomfortable. It's like the first year I've been uncomfortable, like with like how much I ate. I kind of felt bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My wife, mother-in-law, and Zatanna went out shopping this morning.
Oh, how was that?
Get up. They said it actually wasn't bad. Like some of the stores that you thought would be like super packed, like Walmart and stuff, really wasn't. They mainly went out to Five Below because they had a Squishmallows deal. My daughter's like obsessed with Squishmallows right now. So it's like you fill a bag of like up to 10 Squishmallows for $20.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a lot of posts on Facebook today, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit. Is people kind of, I guess, like reminiscing or missing Black Friday? Like, oh yeah, Black Friday. This isn't Black Friday anymore. They should call it Gray Friday. There's not any good sales, and the stores don't open up until Friday morning. It's like, dude, I did not want to go back to like old Black Friday. Like, yeah, motherfuckers getting killed for fucking $30 off a fucking flat screen TV, and getting stabbed over Cabbage Patch dolls and other random shit. I don't want to go back to those days. Spend time with your family.
Think about those people that gotta work those days too. Like it's bad enough. Like you have nurses that are working, triple shifts. You got people in the military that are working, but you want retail workers to come out and open their doors on Thanksgiving night so you can come shop after eating and watching football, or you'll be up at 4 o'clock in the morning to come shopping because you have nothing else better to do with your time. Like some of these stores, like.
I was gonna say, if anything good came out of the pandemic, that would probably be like not only a good thing. Is like stores realizing like, oh, we can just put sales online and still can fight over the fucking keyboard instead of shooting each other in mall parking lots.
Yep. And that's the thing too. It's like it's not like people still aren't buying stuff, taking advantage of the sales and everything on Black Friday. I know, like my last year, the last Black Friday I did at Target. Looking at the sales and stuff, in-store sales were down from the previous year, but like the sales for order pickup were up from the previous year. And those like that a couple years before that too. Like I remember when we first started doing order pickup, it was like sales were trickling down in store, but they're going up for order pickup. Because people realize, oh, I don't have to go stand in line to get this. So I can buy it now and go pick it up, later today. So, or even, have stuff delivered to you from the website. That's what I did when I got my PS4 a few years ago. That's what I did. Ordered it off of Target.com, had it shipped to the house. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Let technology make your life a little easier. So why go stand outside for something that you have no guarantee? Yeah, for something you have no guarantee.
You're irritable because you overate and got up early, and you're taking it out on some poor kid that needs the money to fucking pay his rent. It's just, I'm glad Black Friday is no longer a thing.
Yeah. Terrible type thing. Terrible. I used to complain every year having to work on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm not really a Thanksgiving person. It's a holiday. We shouldn't have to be here. Just dealing with all the ungrateful people coming in.
Yeah.
But it really hasn't been like, there's been some decent sales coming up to today. But like Ringside Collectibles, where I do some of my figure shopping, really didn't have that good of a sale for the Black Friday sale at all. So, but there wasn't really much on there that I was like, oh, I've been looking for that. That's a good price on that.
Yeah.
Let me get that. So,
yeah. I think most of the sales too, like for most stores, like started, a month ago. So.
Yeah.
Or at least a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
They're smart. They know.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome stuff. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I've got. I don't really have anything else. It's been an hour and 42 minutes tonight.
Okay.
Recap one pay-per-view, do picks for another pay-per-view.
And me ranting for 20 minutes about random shit.
It's all good. We'll be back with you next week. We'll go over some results for Survivor Series, all that fun stuff, and that's pretty much it. Make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. Just find WrestleGeddon Pod, or you can hit the link tree in the show description, and it'll take you where you need to go. On behalf of myself, Chris Eat Matthews, he's the Tennessee Jesus Carl Crossland. This is episode 262 of your WrestleGeddon podcast, and we will chat with you all next week. Later, Marks.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, 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 gobble.